Hi. Yes, it's been another long time. I'm overburdened with work throughout the week. It is so hard to find time to make videos, even on a Sunday. But today I got time, and today I've brought a really fantastic book which we can talk about. So sit down, relax, and let's jump right into the video. It feels good to say that after a long time. So, the book I'm going to be talking about today is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. So, for those of you who've never heard Andy Weir's name before, I'm sure most of you out there have heard of a book called The Martian. It was a super successful book which was also adapted into an amazing and successful film by the same name, The Martian. So, if you've heard of either of the book or the movie, the original story is by Andy Weir. And this time he's brought a book which has all the cool scenes of The Martian with hard science fiction and combined it into Project Hail Mary. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So as you can see, this is the cover of the book and it appears to be big, but the font is not too small, so you can get through this book quite quickly. The best part about this book is you don't need to know science fiction or need to be completely knowledgeable in this kind of scientific information. You just need to accept all of that scientific information as basic facts for the story to progress. Like, I could give this book to a person who absolutely has no interest in the scientific field and they would enjoy it because it's such a brilliant book. So even though it has a lot of hard science facts and science fiction, there's no need for you to worry and you can absolutely go into this book. Andy Weir writes in such an immersive style and it's really hard not to get lost into one of his books. This was my first time actually reading a book by him, and I am really astounded by the style of optimistic writing. It's absolutely perfect. So, owing to the fact that I usually do this in all my book reviews, I wanted to give you a little bit of the storyline just so you understand if this is the book for you. Just a fair warning, if you don't want scientific information dumped on you at every couple of pages, then maybe this is not the book for you because it does have that particular thing and there's a lot of scientific information that you have to just keep accepting for the story to progress. So Project Hail Mary is based in a dystopian world where the people on Earth have discovered something catastrophic. They've noticed a red line nicknamed the Petrova line that moves from the sun all the way to Venus, arcs around Venus, and then continues its journey back to the sun. And the people over at JAXA, which is Japan's space exploration agency, discovered that the Petrova line was getting brighter by showing an infrared radiation at the same rate that our star, the sun, was getting dimmer. So they came to the direct conclusion that the Petrova line is taking up energy from the sun, heading to Venus for some unknown reason, and going back to finish the cycle and restart the whole thing over again. And our star, the sun, is getting dimmer. And if the star gets 10% dimmer, which is their prediction, Earth will be completely destroyed and it will be a wasteland. A cold, icy, frigid wasteland. Very few people would actually survive. It will be a mass catastrophe. And they noticed that this is being caused by tiny little organisms out there in space which are emitting infrared light and forming that Petrova line. So the first thing they do is send out a probe to get some samples back to Earth for studying. The hero of this book is Dr. Ryland Grace, R-Y-L-A-N-D. And he wakes up surrounded by machinery all alone in a white room with two dead bodies. And he doesn't know where he is, and he has no memory of who he is, what he's doing there, why he's there, and where exactly he is in some random room, and he has no clue of what he's supposed to be doing. He wakes up and he's able to control himself, all his digits are mobile, he's able to walk around, he's able to think, and he slowly comes to the conclusion that he is a person who's interested in science. He sees which units come to him naturally. Does he measure in miles or kilometers? And he's trying to pinpoint his nationality, trying to pinpoint where he's from. So from all these basic experiments, he realizes that he's a person who has interest in physics and science in general. So he slowly starts performing more and more experiments, the most vital of them being the fact that he drops some objects and measures the time taken by them to reach the ground and the distance they took, and finds out that he's moving in an area with the acceleration due to gravity being 1.5 g. We all know the acceleration due to gravity is g, and that's 9.8 meters per second. He's moving at 1.5 into 9.8 meters per second, which leads him to believe two possibilities. One is that he is on Earth and in a centrifuge so big that it is rotating so fast that he is able to attain that g acceleration. That, or he's not on Earth. He believes that a centrifuge might be so big to build to get that exact value of g, and he comes to the conclusion that he is out in space. Ryland Grace is all alone in space, and he has an important mission, and he slowly remembers all the things of his past life and comes to a conclusion that he is the person who is supposed to find the secret of the Petrova line and figure out what's going wrong and send the information back to Earth. And he's all alone. His two crewmates are dead. The corpses that I mentioned in the starting, they're his crewmates. They were supposed to help him out, but they're dead. He has no clue why he survived, and he has to carry out this mission. And he has to do it all alone, or billions of lives on Earth will be lost. But does he have to do it alone? That's the basic premise of a Project Hail Mary. The reason it's called Project Hail Mary is because the ship he's on, hurtling through space, is called Hail Mary, and the project to initiate that was obviously named Project Hail Mary. It is such a science-packed book, and it's going to be super interesting for anyone who enjoys these sort of science fiction adventures. He goes to space powered by an alien fuel that uses light to travel. E is equal to mc squared actually has a use in this storyline. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that little book review that I had for you today. It's an absolutely phenomenal book, and I like to read some reviews from other authors who've read this book. The first one on the front cover is Original, Compelling and Fun by none other than Ernest Cline. For those of you who don't know who Ernest Cline is, he's the person who wrote Ready Player One, which I have also reviewed in a previous video on my channel. Brilliant and funny, enjoyable and plausible. Tim Peake, I don't know who that is. If you like a lot of science in your science fiction, Andy Weir is the writer for you. This one has everything fans of old school science fiction like me love. George R.R. Martin, who's the best-selling author of A Game of Thrones. I'm sure you heard of that. Weir's finest work to date by none other than Brandon Sanderson, author of the best-selling Stormlight Archive series. I've never spoken about that before, have I? Thrilling, undisputedly the best book I've read in a very, very long time. Blake Crouch, best-selling author of Dark Matter. So that's it for Project Hail Mary. I hope you enjoyed this book review. If you did, make sure you drop a like below to show your support and subscribe while you're at it. Thank you so much for watching this book review, and I am going to see you guys next time. I wish I could go to space. It's one of my dreams, just go to space in a vehicle and see the sun. I want to see the sun up close. There you go. I said it. I want to see the sun up close. See ya.